Hey, Niko here from NikoPapadopoulo.com. Welcome, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on the time and day, of the week, of the month, of whatever you are watching at this. What's going on? Niko here from NikoPapadopoulo.com. Very pleased to see you here. This is going to be episode number 7 of the Niko Random Tips Show. And today's subject is about a very common objection, I would say, for most businesses, especially in network marketing, and that's about I don't have time. I don't have time. How often do you hear that one, right? I don't have time. Let me check if this is broadcasting, just to make sure everything is well, and I will get exactly into the points I want to talk to you about. Just a moment, please. It seems to be working. Yep, great. Okay, so what's this about? I don't have time. How many times have you heard of that one? I mean, how many? Don't you hear that all the time? I mean, it's like it's one of the most common things in my mind, at least. Typically, that's it's there. It's very common and it happens all the time. So let's get into it. What happens when somebody tells you I don't have the time? You're done with your presentation and everything, all excited and that, great and super and everything, and then you get the I don't have time thing, right? Well, first off, as with any objection, typically I try to qualify my prospect, to qualify my friend or relative or whoever it is, even if it's personal invitation or even if it's for somebody else that I'm doing the presentation of them. So try to qualify first. Try to figure out if indeed they get the idea, okay, to understand the idea and the potentials and everything, and if indeed they are willing to be involved in it, if time was not an issue. So I would just ask them straight up, hey, okay, good, I get it that you don't have the time, but did you really like the idea? Would you be involved with it if time was not an issue? And let them respond. I want to feel their response. I want to realize what they are saying. If indeed they are saying a yes or a no just to avoid me or bring me closer or be polite or not, I want to get that. If I sense they're just hiding and they don't really want to do this, what I'm proposing, then I'll just send them away nicely, of course. I appreciate for their time and everything, and I prefer to send them away at that time and keep the good relationship instead of trying to push what I have down their throat. Okay. If I sense they are not ready for it, if I sense they didn't really understand what was this about, there is no point in trying to explain everything. They are closed. They are not into it. You see what I mean? I mean, it's if they don't get the idea, they don't get it. I mean, it's there. Hey Mamuti, what's up? Thank you, brother. It's been a while. How you doing? Thank you. All right. So if they don't get the idea, typically I don't try to push it anymore. But if they get the idea and I can see they are excited about it and they are thinking of ways they could do it, but time is a problem to them, then I try to help them out. Now, there are a few ways I would approach this, right? If it's a very close person of mine and I have a lot of, I'm very comfortable with them and I know I can push them a bit more than the typical person I would do the presentation with. I'll try to make it even, I'll try to push them in a way to realize for themselves that not having time is really a bad thing and cannot help them anymore. So I would go and ask them, again, if they are very close to me, I would go and ask them, okay, how does that make you feel that you don't have the time to do this, which you said you would like to do it? You see what I mean? First of all, I'll qualify them first, right? And then I will use that approach if they are very close to me. Okay, so I would ask them if indeed they're very close to me and they did understand and would like to do it. I would ask them, okay, how does that make you feel that you don't have the time to do this? And wait for the response. Wait for the response, not just the sounds they will make. Try to feel what they are talking about. Again, they can try to avoid the answer, but I want to get that answer and not just the expressions. I want to get the whole thing, what they feel about it. I want to push them into realizing themselves, how does that make them feel? Okay, that's very important. From there on, I will approach the subject in different ways. So if they realize that indeed that doesn't make them feel good, then they definitely consider the time issue, the time problem. Okay, and it's my job to help them realize that if they don't do anything, they will still keep not having any more time. Since they understand the concept, the potentials, and the value of what I'm proposing, I will help them realizing on their own that not making the time, not changing something on their life right now will not help them in the future. I will show them that indeed they are at this position in their life because of the actions they have taken so far and because of the decisions they have taken so far. And if they truly want to change something in their life, they need to start changing. It can be what I'm offering, but if not, they need to figure out what they need to do in order to start changing their life. Do you get my point? I hope you do get my point. This is very important. You see, if they don't understand what they are losing, they cannot really take advantage of what you are offering. Does that make sense? I hope it does. So, trying to figure out them first and then try to approach them accordingly. Another way would be, of course, again, always after qualifying them and after realizing that indeed they want to do this, but they don't have time, as they say. I'll use this approach for the general, let's say, population or the general prospect. Somebody I'm not very close to, let's say. I would ask them, I would tell them basically that I don't really need their time to do this network marketing business, for example. I will show them that they have access to, let's say, 100 people, 1,000 people, 200 people, 10 people, whatever, depending on who is in front of me. Okay, they have access to that people, to their context. What I want from them is not really their time, but is to set up a meeting with me and their friends and their prospect. And I'll tell them that I can present, close, and train their prospect, and they don't really have to do it, especially not at the beginning, since they are so busy without being able to, allocate a couple of hours per week or something. So if they tell me they don't have the time, but they do want to do it, that's an approach I could take. Ask them, tell them that they have access to their contacts and I don't, okay? And I can present the opportunity to them, the product to them, the services to them, okay? I can close them and train them to build their business, and he or she would benefit from that effort, from my work on their contacts. Okay, so I will be making money for them and for him just by him setting up the meetings the right way with me. And from there on, if I get that my prospect really got the idea, I'll ask them to join. And it's going to be up to them if they are willing to do that. Now, another thing you can do is go on the approach of, depending of course of the person, if it's a very analytical person like I am, if it's a very analytical person, I'll sort of draw it to them. I'll sort of tell them, yes, you don't need the time typically, but again, I'll use the approach with the contacts, and I'll show you even more on how you can actually leverage time and earn more time with this thing. And they will tell me, of course, how would you do that? And I'll show them, okay, let's say you only have, I don't know, a couple of hours per week. That's about it. I mean, everybody has time. Come on. I mean, don't you have a break? Don't you take a break here, there, somewhere, have a coffee with somebody at a coffee shop once a week or something? I mean, if you don't, how does that make you feel? Right? Right? Go back to the first strategy. So to the first approach, I mean, if you see value in what I'm offering and you tell me you don't have a time, an hour per week, 2-3 hours per week, and you need this badly, you don't get it, right? But okay, let's go into the analysis part. So I would tell them, if indeed you would give me a couple of hours per week, right? And some of those people, some of those prospects to join your organization, and they only have as well a couple of hours per week, what does that give you? That gives you your couple of hours per week plus their a couple of hours per week. So what's the total? Let's say 4 hours per week. Remember, this is network marketing, and building a team, building a network gives you leverage. So the next week, so the second week, let's say you only have, again, a couple of hours per week. Your first, let's say, member, teammate also has those 2 hours per week, and you bring another person, one for you and one for them. That makes 4 people. What if those 4 people only have 2 hours per week? How many hours? It's going to be your third week, starting with 8, right? You see where this goes? I mean, this is leverage. Now you can wait and figure out, I'll tell them, figure out ways to find time and this and the other. There are many ways to do this, I would tell them. And it all depends if you truly want to do this. And I push them away. If you don't really want to do this, if you don't really get this, that's fine. Don't do it. But don't come and complain to me that things don't work out for you, that you don't have time, that you don't have time now, that you don't have time a year from now, that you need extra income and you don't have time to generate extra income. I can show you ways to generate income, but it's a matter of you willing to take action on what I tell you. These are the lines more or less I'm using with my prospect in order to help them realize that indeed, if they don't change anything, nothing is going to change on its own. If they don't take actions on their own matter, nothing is going to change on its own. If they don't like the fact that they don't have time to do anything, they have to realize that on their own. They know it, but they have to realize it. There is a difference there. I believe there is, at least. So these are some of my approaches I use, or some of my approaches I use for people that tell me I don't have time. Again, first of all, as with any objection, I'll try to qualify them and make sure that indeed they got the idea, they got the value of what I'm offering, the benefits or the vision or what it can do to them. All right. From there on, if indeed they are serious and they did get the idea, then I will approach them in a way so that they will begin to feel that they are there for a reason, and that if they don't change anything, they cannot have something better or something different in their life. So that's very important. And from there on, I'll show them that indeed you can do the business without much time to it. You just need to leverage myself as a team, as a sponsor, and as well as your contacts to bring them to me so that I will your contacts for you. Therefore, I will be helping him making money without even him being there. I mean, it can happen if somebody is willing to do it, and if somebody wants to do it, for sure. So that's what I wanted to cover today. Kind of brief, but I believe to the point. I hope it does help you out. There is a ton of training on how to close people online and how to approach different objections. For sure, for this objection as well. I mean, it's one of the most common objections there is. I hope I gave you a good perspective, at least my perspective on how to approach it. Always be authentic. In my mind, if you feel somebody is not up for it and if they didn't get it, just let them be. Maybe sometime down the road they will come back to you because they would appreciate the fact that you let them be, that you didn't try to close them, hardcore close. And I mean, let me take a step back. If somebody doesn't want to do something and you push them in doing it, do you think they will do it? Personally, I don't think they will do it. So personally, I prefer to let them go, keep the friendship, keep the connection. All right. Sometime down the road, they can return, and it does happen. Okay. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. I hope you got value in this. If you did, please sharing around. Please connect with me here on Facebook, and I'll be very happy to help you out with your online marketing strategies. You can always hop over to my homepage for more free training and more value at NikoPapadopoulo.com. I have the links here, there somewhere, and I'll be very happy if you reach out to me, and I'll be very happy, of course, to help you with your online marketing strategies. Niko here from NikoPapadopoulo.com. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you're having an amazing day today. Be good, have fun, and God bless.